If you have a plastic piece on your race car, your bumper drug to ground, it's cracked or whatever, this video is going to be for you, and it's going to show you how to repair any plastics. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do the opening in here in the office this morning because we can't get away from the music and all the noise. Eddie has his music cranked up so freaking loud all the time back there, and then it's like you ask him, even if I go back to right now and ask him to turn it down, he's sanding, and so then I'm just gonna have to deal with the fans, the sanders, and everything like that. So I said, well, we'll bring these pieces up here, do this intro, and then we'll go throw you on a time lapse out back as we actually cut this thing up. So let me show you. So what we have is, this is actually off of a newer Dodge tow truck. This is the fender flare that goes on the front bumper. It sits like this. Now I'm guessing that the clips come out of this side, or it got knocked off or something, and the thing flopped around and rubbed on the wheel. This part is only let's see here, what was it, $60 through the dealer. The issue is it's on national back order, and only like 6 dealerships in the whole entire country can even get it when it comes off of back order to mail it out. So they said to try back in 6 months, and 60 days, not 6 months, I'm sorry. Try back in 60 days and see if they can get us a date on when it could possibly be available. So I called the customer, told the customer that, you know, you can't get this thing, that the situation, and that he said, well, how much just to repair it? Because he had asked from the beginning just to repair it. And I told him it wouldn't really be worth it. So I said, well, to repair it, you're probably looking at $300 by the time you cut another piece of plastic, fit it in, do the plastic bonding that we're going to do a little body filler, and then sanding it all out and priming it, that you'd be, you know, a $300 ticket on a $60 part. So customer says he doesn't care, that he wants it back on his truck to fix it. So we are going to start this morning to fix it. I'm going to show you the products we are using. We're going to take this old fender flare, actually, that come off of my F450. I don't think I'll ever need it. If I do, I'll just have to buy another one. And we are going to cut this. So I have come in here and measured roughly the distance. You got your edge right here, and then you got a body line right here. So thankfully we're not too far past our body line. Like, our meat is still there, our plastic is still there. So all we need is basically this width right here and a little tiny bit that way. So I have basically measured it out with using tape, just laid it out, got approximately the same width. It's a little bit bigger than one of these, so I put 2 of them so I have enough extra. We're gonna go out here, cut this right here to get this corner out of this so that we have a corner, and then we will physically lay it over top of this, and then we'll start trimming this one down to match closer to this one. And then once we get this one closer, then we'll come in, mark the edges of this one, and cut this out so we can actually slip the pieces together and bond them back together. And then we'll have to probably go on the back side and make a patch also on the back side for a little bit of strength. Once we get all that done, then we'll move forward with bodywork and primer. So if you have a plastic piece on your race car, your bumper drug to ground, it's cracked or whatever, this video is going to be for you, and it's going to show you how to repair any plastic stuff and get it fixed cracks or tears or whatever. So let's get at it. Oh, hey, welcome back to the front office. I think this is how things going to go today. It is ridiculous back there in the back of the shop. It is pretty much like a mixture of a concert right now, a sander, and a pressure washer. So they need to keep working. Yeah, I can't afford for them to stop any, so we're going to come up here and catch up. So we cut our little piece out, okay? So this was all I wanted to cut this piece out was for is just to keep this edge on there, you know. this little edge right here. I just kind of wanted a little edge, and this is actually rolled at a wider radius than the actual flare is, but that's going to allow me to put some filler or easy sand plastic repair I'll probably use, and not so much filler. I do have some easy sand stuff that I'll show you when we get to that step if it hasn't went bad. But we went over to the paint store this morning and we picked up our 3M product that we are going to attach these two together. So I believe this is the same stuff we used in the golf cart videos in the past, but just in case you've never seen it, this is what it is. 3M 04240. That's the product we're using. It's a semi-rigid plastic repair. So it goes in a special gun. We've went over that gun on the channel also. Let me flip the camera around. I'll show you the patch panel on the flare. So all I have done is took the patch panel and cut it so that it is approximately the same shape and the same size as the chunk that's missing. Now it's close. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to get filled in with a lot of stuff. So, I mean, you can see that, well, it's hard to do this standing at the front door with one hand, but you can see that the height right there is pretty decent by the time you fill all that in around. And then this height over here, this needs to be rolled out a little like that. Let's see here. Basically like that. So our height is pretty close to accurate. And then the inside, actually, this curve is a little more curved than our piece. So what we're going to have to do is, after we create this, like right here where my thumb's at, we'll have to actually shave a little bit of this out to create that curve. And then we'll come in from the back side, and you'll see me eventually when we get to that step, we'll fill in the back side so we have some support in there. So we're going to go out here, throw this in our gun, and whip this up. What I'll probably do is we will take our plastic repair and we will put a good size bead all the way around here. I might even put some tape on the inside to kind of hold it, but we're going to put a good size bead around here, and then we'll probably put some around here, and then we will squish this together. That way that stuff goes freaking everywhere, and then we'll let that dry up. When that dries up, we'll peel it off the backside. We'll do any grinding that we need on the backside of anything that's oozed out or anything that's not correct. But we can leave a lot of slop and a lot of extra material on the backside because it's just a hollow pocket. So the more material in there, the better. So we're going to squish it all in that direction. And then what we'll do, if we have a good bond, we'll come back in with the easy sand. And if we need to fill in some stuff so we're not using filler, we'll do that. And then after we do our easy sand, you know, if we have any other pockets that are missing, you can kind of see it right there. Yeah, we'll go back and fill it in. So let's go back here, put our stuff in our gun, and get this all bonded back together. All right, so here's our piece with the stuff smeared all over it and our patch from the inside. We're gonna let this dry. You are supposed to clamp this 2 to 3 minutes. So you're supposed to hold it for 2 to 3 minutes and then let this cure for an hour. So we put a bunch on there because then we're gonna come back in with a sander and a grinder and we are going to grind this back down so that we get our shape back so we can slick this out with some dolphin glaze. So let's let this dry and then we'll get back on this. Alright, so we got our part all slicked out with our dolphin glaze. We missed a little nick right there, but we'll catch it later. We're going to go ahead and get some primer on it. Primer might fill it in. If not, we'll catch it on the back side after the primer. So there's how it turned out. Got its body line all back in it. Everything's slicked out, so we've got everything in 180 right now, and we're going to shoot some 2K primer on this. That way we can come in and block that out tomorrow. The 2K primer that we are shooting is this product right here, TEK 200, and then the hardener is 34202. Got it in our paint gun, and we're gonna go just put a couple of coats over this, and then that'll be it. So we're gonna let them coats flash off, let that coat flash off for a minute, and then we'll probably go in on it with maybe 2 or 3 more coats. All right, I mean 3 coats total, probably 2 more coats. All right, so we got our part primered yesterday. It's Friday morning, so we let this dry overnight. She's looking good. You can see we got some trash right there in the primer, which is perfectly fine. Looks good though. So that inside imperfection, I think I'm actually just gonna let ride. I'm not even gonna worry about it, just on the inside. I might hit it with dolphin glaze. Actually, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and hit it with dolphin glaze this morning. But we're gonna put some guide coat over it so that we can see what we're sanding. So this is the guide coat we're using, okay? All this does is just shows imperfections. So all you do is just take it, which we're about empty out of this one. Just came about empty, and you're just gonna put your coat across it like that, okay? We went over this in other videos, but just in case you just found this channel off of this video and you're new, that's all you do. Now when you're sanding that, what that's gonna do is it's gonna sand off the tops, and then any little tiny imperfections, there will be black dots inside of them, so you'll be able to easily see it, whereas everything else is gonna turn a light gray. So let's get the sanding. We're gonna use 320 grit on our DA. Okay, so that's the brand I'm using and the grit. And I'm just gonna scuff this thing out and get this thing ready for paint. All right, now we'll go ahead and hit this thing with some dolphin glaze just for y'all, instead of just leaving it with a flaw in it. So I should do it anyway. When you're doing little stuff like this, you can use a razor blade, a scrap razor blade, as your spreader. It works good. You got tons of them laying around, and you can just throw it when it's done. Guide coat makes it hard to see. So we're just gonna put that on. It will harden right up while we're sanding the rest. And we'll get it off. And then see, that right there. And then all of that can pretty much go in a trash can, mixer and all. So, razor blades, good. All right, so here's our piece. Now it's wet, fresh out the gun. We can't touch it. There's a fly in here. That means that he is gonna land in my clear coat. So wet, we got a little bit of drippage. But yeah, I mean, we look good, man. Got a little piece of trash right there, but dude, I think this thing's solid, man. I mean, that turned out spectacular, besides that piece of trash right there. No complaints from me out of that at all. So, especially for how tore up that thing was. I mean, that thing had a freaking hole in it. Yeah, I like so that's gonna be a wrap on this video. Yeah, I got a screwdriver in my hand because I'm multitasking working on the Tahoe. That's gonna be a wrap for this video. Hopefully that will help y'all with one of your projects, whether it's your race car, your daily driver, your boat, whatever it could possibly be. If you need to bond something back together, 3M has all kinds of different products, whether it's fiberglass, metal, aluminum to steel. Aluminum to steel is a big advantage in the race car world. I've actually used that trick to lighten up some stuff, to cut out steel and replace it with aluminum by bonding it back. So this stuff is good information to have that you can use on your projects. But we're gonna wrap that up. You get the gist of it. If you have any questions, comment below, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell button, and I'll catch you on the next video.